सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल दबाएं ताकि कोई खबर रह न जाए।
Engage in mutually constructive discourse aimed at resolution of the issues plaguing maritime arena. Seas have always figured prominently in our lives. Given the fact, as per Colin McAvity, known for his work on ancient atlases, the first recorded maritime trade occurred right here in this region between the Indus Valley and Mesopotamia around 4,500 years ago, suggesting that our dependence on seas would remain undiminished. Seas have gained renewed focus owing to being huge reservoirs of food, minerals, and hydrocarbons. This has resulted into what I call the trinity of abuse: exploitation and greed, pushing seas into an unsustainable ecosystem, impacting living resources. Excessive generation of CO2 at land has been steadily toxifying the seas, which if not arrested might make plenty of fish extinct. Therefore, I believe there must be a harmonious approach towards sea-based socioeconomics that should include society, investors, and public stakeholders. Pakistan's locations makes it an important country both in the geopolitics and as a potential holder of many types of living and non-living resources in its seas. Pakistan's coastal areas are incredibly rich in biodiversity and productivity. Our continental shelf has enormous reservoirs of magnesium, cobalt, and nickel, while it also contains tremendous amounts of gas hydrates. Initial survey for the fish resources was done by a Norwegian vessel in 2010, and a joint expedition to explore hydrocarbon resources was conducted by Pakistan Navy's Hydrographic Department and China Geological Survey in 2019. The survey revealed highly promising picture of Pakistan's exclusive economic zone with presence of huge reservoirs of oil and gas in the Indus Deltaic region. Third survey is expected this year, which is likely to pave the way for drilling and subsequent extraction of the hydrocarbons. Realizing the importance of blue economy, the government of Pakistan had declared year 2020 as the year of blue economy, but because of the COVID, much of the activities that were planned could not be held. So two of the activities which Pakistan Navy, in collaboration with Ministry of Maritime Affairs, had planned had to be postponed because of COVID, one of which was Pakistan International Maritime Conference and Seminar, which would address most of the things what Sardar Masood Khan was referring to as to Pakistan Navy needs to take a lead. We did, and in fact, we could not hold that exhibition. And I am a firm believer that when we hold that exhibition and a series every year, I think much of the blue economy related problems will be solved, and all the stakeholders will come together to rescue this diminishing. The second thing was that we are conducting regularly since 2017 is the Maritime Security Workshop at Pakistan Navy War College in Lahore. The last session was planned in December of 2020, which had to be postponed again because of the COVID. And as soon as the things get better, we would hold this security workshop, which is attended by all segments of society. And in the past three series of these workshops, we believe that we have been able to pass this realization to a number of people in the country, and I think this number will multiply as we continue to do this workshop, and then they subsequently pass on as to what blue economy is and what we need to do. Ladies and gentlemen, the cardinals of Pakistan's foreign policy have always been non-interference, collective well-being, and principled engagement, which is profoundly visible in Pakistan becoming a partner to Chinese Belt and Road Initiative. Pakistan believes that Chinese win-win strategy is beyond a state amassing power for itself in a chaotic system, but is meant to be mutually beneficial. China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, being the pilot project of Belt and Road, has all the markers of being a stimulant for regional economic transformation. Linking all Central Asian nations to Gwadar and relieving China of its Malacca dilemma has rightly been dubbed as a watershed project. Ability to transport goods and value-added industry products is the critical determinant of a country's economic pace. Without this capability, the industries would be meaningless. The CPEC, by design, is set to facilitate the regional countries in this respect. As we get together here and try to explore what best can be done or what the other alternatives to a problem could be, we can all look at things as Edward de Bono suggests, that the lateral thinking, so that we may find innovative solutions to our security and economic problems. Here I would like to mention the work of two Australia-based researchers titled Marine Extremes, where they contend that blue economy does not simply mean scaling up the ocean benefits, but bringing it up with good ocean governance. In the absence of ocean governance, blue economy goals might just intensify degradation of oceans. As we seek each other's and its positive impact on socio-economic development of coastal communities, we need to acknowledge that illegal and unlawful activities at sea need to be addressed before expecting the blue economy work wonders. This forum is a place to discuss these aspects in detail with an attempt to draw pragmatic outcomes. It would also be pivotal to review and refigure the Navy's role in ocean governance so that blue economy activities might go on uninterrupted. Once again, I am deeply thankful to you all for making it here for the International Maritime Conference. I know how difficult it must have been given the COVID-19 pandemic, lashing us all from one end to the other. But your presence here is reassuring that we must never give in to pandemics indefinitely. We must, of course, be very cautious and careful. I hope we leave this place as better learned and better aware professionals. I thank you all. And its positive impact on socio-economic development of coastal communities, we need to acknowledge that illegal and unlawful activities at sea need to be addressed before expecting the blue economy work wonders. This forum is a place to discuss these aspects in detail with an attempt to draw pragmatic outcomes. It would also be pivotal to review and refigure the Navy's role in ocean governance so that blue economy activities might go on uninterrupted. Once again, I am deeply thankful to you all for making it here for the International Maritime Conference. I know how difficult it must have been given the COVID-19 pandemic, lashing us all from one end to the other. But your presence here is reassuring that we must never give in to pandemics indefinitely. We must, of course, be very cautious and careful. I hope we leave this place as better learned and better aware professionals. I thank you all.
सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल दबाएं ताकि कोई खबर रह न जाए।